Hello class, good morning. I Purnima welcome you to my class. And children, today we are going to do the same lesson, The Snake and the Mirror, written by Waqom Muhammad Bashir. So, Waqom Muhammad Bashir, he is a renowned children author from Kerala. He was a humanist, freedom fighter, uh, novelist, and a short story writer. He cared to the need of the common man. He was awarded with the Padma Shri in 1982. Now, student, the snake and the mirror is based on the theme of vanity. What is the meaning of vanity? It means extreme pride or admiration of one's own uh, look or ability or achievements. So this is the meaning of vanity. Now, this story is about a homeopathic doctor, unmarried and very handsome. He was himself a great admirer of beauty. He lived in a rented house which was an outhouse. It had two windows and a tiled roof. There was no electricity and the room was infested with rats. Children, one hot Sunday night, he had his meal outside as a restaurant in a restaurant, and he returned home. He lit the kerosene lamp, took off his coat, and shut the door, and he coat and shirt, and opened his two window. So children, he was a bachelor. Maybe he was not knowing how to cook. So he went to the restaurant to have his meal. Now, student, this doctor, I told you, he was full of, he was arrogant person. He was an arrogant person with full of vanity, okay, and pride. So, and he used to think he's the most handsome doctor. And children, one hot night he went to take his meal in the restaurant. And children, his house was not electrified, as I told you. He lit the kerosene. He came back from the restaurant. He lit the kerosene lamp and took off his coat and shirt and opened two windows. He settled on the chair and started to read a medical book. There was a large mirror on a table on which stood a lamp. As it was too hot to sleep, he sat in front of the mirror, admiring his looks, and smiled. A plan and children, he smiled and started thinking something. When he was looking at himself at the mirror, he thought how he would look more presentable, how he would look more handsome. Okay, and he was the kind of person who want to improve his appearance or look. Okay, so he looked into the mirror, smiled, and children, he told that if he will shave daily and if he will keep thin mustache, he would look more presentable, he would look more handsome. Suddenly, a lovely thought came to him. It was about his marriage. Okay, he thought that the person whom he is going actually to marry, so that girl or lady should be a lady doctor, and she should be a rich doctor. Her practice should be going on very well, and moreover, children, she should be fat. So here again the writer has thrown humor here. She should be fat because when they will have a fight, or when he won't be able to do something and that lady doctor will run after him, she won't be able to catch him as she will be fat and he is a thin person. Okay, so he would choose a fat lady as his wife, and that she could not be able to run and catch him. So children, he was too engrossed in his daily thoughts, in his daydreaming, as he did not give much importance to the students, to the sudden silence. And children, suddenly what he felt, he was so much engrossed, he was so much lost in his thought that he was not knowing that the silence in the room, the silence of the room has stopped. Suddenly it was quiet everywhere. The rats had stopped scampering. There was a sound thing falling behind him, and it was a kind of thud sound, as if a rubber tire had fallen. He was slow to react. By this time he turned round to look. A snake had slid over the back of his chair, wriggled onto his shoulder, and coiled around his left arm above the elbow. It was Cobra, a very dangerous snake and very big snake. Its hood is spread out just 3 inches away from his face. The doctor sat there like a stone statue, not making any movement lest the snake strikes him. Suddenly he realized the presence of God. He felt God is giving him punishment because he really is a very arrogant person. He never cares for other, though a doctor should care for other first. But he was simply opposite. He was caring for himself first. So in his mind, this thought came that this is the way God is giving him punishment. Then children, he did not move, and he suddenly realized the presence of God. It seemed as though God in the form of a snake had come to punish him on being proud and arrogant. He realized he was but a mere human being, nothing to boast of. Well, he prayed God. He prayed God that he will not be arrogant. The moment he accepted his true worth, God appeared pleased, and the snake left his hold and sat on the table in front of the mirror. The doctor got up silently and sprinted out of the door. Next morning, when he returned to take his belongings, he was shocked to notice that all his belongings were stolen away. Some thief had entered to his house and taken his all the belongings. Now, children, because he had run away without as much as locking the door, because he was so scared with the snake that he ran away, children, without locking at the door. Only one thing was left, and which was still hanging, and that was his waist, his dirty waist. So again, here the writer has thrown a light, okay, and this is one of the most humorous thing of the story, that his dirty waist was still hanging. Okay, children, so we were there in stanza 5, sorry, paragraph 5, and I am going to read this and explain you. Now the explanation of the lesson will be done. I took a close look at my face in the mirror. Now children, he came from the meal, as it was very hot, he was not able to study. So he sat down on his desk. He took a close look at his face in the mirror. I made an important decision, and he felt that he is one of the most presentable and handsome man. I would have shaved daily and grow a thin mustache. So two things he had decided: to look more presentable and to look more handsome, that he should shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. I was, after all, a bachelor and a doctor. Now again, children, they show the ego of that homeopathic doctor, because he himself is boasting that he is a doctor and a bachelor. I looked into the mirror and smiled. It was an attractive smile. I made another earth-shaking decision. See how beautiful this adjective is used here. Earth-shaking decision. I would always keep that attractive smile on my face to look more handsome. So children, he took a decision, a very important decision, that he would always keep the attractive smile on his face so that he would look more handsome. I was, after all, a bachelor. Okay. And a doctor too on top of it. Now children, again boasting himself. This shows that he was a man of arrogant nature. I got up, paced up and down the room. Then another lovely thought struck me. I would marry. I would get married to a woman doctor who had plenty of money. Now children, finally a lovely thought came to him, and he started thinking of his marriage. He decided that he would marry a woman doctor who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. She had to be fat for a valid reason. If I made some silly mistake and needed to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me. Now, some children, he had made a decision that if he had committed some mistake, and if he will needed to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me. With such thoughts in my mind, I resumed my seat in the chair in front of the table. There were no more sound from above. Suddenly there came a dull thud as if rubber tube had fallen to the ground. Now children, suddenly he heard a thud sound as if some rubber tube had fallen to the ground. Surely nothing to worry about. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. Now he thought, nothing to worry about. I would turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. Now children, when I turned them, then a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. The snake landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. Now children, the snake landed on him and his turning were simultaneous. Okay. So, and what is the meaning of wriggle? Yes, I did not jump, I did not tremble, I did not cry out. There was no time to do any such thing. Now children, the snake was only few inches away from him. So he did not jump. He was feeling scared, but he could not tremble. He did not even cry out, because if he will do such thing, definitely he would be bitten by the snake. There was no time to do any such thing. The snake slithered along my shoulder. Okay, slithered is move with a twisting motion. Okay, so what is the meaning of slithered? Slithered means move with a twisting position. All right. Move with a twisting position. Okay. So, the snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm. So children, the snake, it slithered around his shoulder, and children, it coiled. Okay, it coiled around its arm, left arm, above the elbow. The hood was spread and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. So what is the meaning of hood? Back of the neck and face. The hood of the snake is the back and neck the meaning of hood, back of the neck and face of a snake? Okay. Now, paragraph 8. I felt then the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. Now, suddenly, children, the writer is struck by a thought that he felt the presence of a creator, that is God, in the form of a snake. God was there. He was sure that it was the God who came to him. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." Now he wanted to speak to the snake. So first of all, he could not speak because of two reasons. First, its hood of the snake was quite near him, only few inches away. At the same time, children, he thought God would not like to hear him. So he started imagining, he closed his eye, he started imagining whatever he would say things to God right now, as he believed that the God came in the form of snake to him to punish him. So whatever he would say, he would write outside his heart, and if God will know everything. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." There was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick leaden rod, no, a rod made of molten fire. Well, children, he had suffered a pain in his arm as if it was a rod made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. He felt that it was slowly and powerfully crushing my arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all its strength. He felt finally, children, the arm was draining off all the strength. What could I do? He was helpless. He knew even if he will move slightly, the snake will bite him. What could I do? At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. Death lurked 4 inches away. So, children, he was very, very fearful. Okay, and he held his breath, uh, and he was simply not moving. Lurk means waited in hiding. Lurked. Okay, so what is the meaning of lurked? Lurked means waited in hiding, as if death was hiding and waiting for the writer in the form of snake. Paragraph 9. At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. Death lurked 4 inches away. Suppose it struck, what was the medicine I had to take? There were no medicine in the room. I was but a poor, foolish, and stupid doctor. Now, children, finally he started thinking that if the worst thing will happen, finally he started thinking if worse would happen to him, that means if that snake would bite him, then what will happen? He was a poor doctor. He was not having enough money. He was a foolish and stupid doctor because he should keep some medicine with him. Being a doctor, any patient can come anytime and he had to give that medicine. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. So, children, he forgot his danger and he started smiling feebly at himself. It seemed as if God appreciated it. Children, suddenly he felt that the snake is leaving him. He felt that God has appreciated him as he had asked sorry to him with God. The snake turned its head. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. The snake turned its head. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror. Now, children, that snake inside started looking itself into the mirror, but it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. Was it admiring its own beauty? Now the writer is saying to himself, was it admiring his own beauty? Who is his here? The snake. So very few minutes ago he was admiring his own beauty. Okay, and he was thinking that he is the most handsome man in the world. So he is thinking, is snake is also admiring its own beauty to make an, was it trying to make an important decision about growing a mustache or using eyeshadow and mascara or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? Now children, he is thinking, now here is a humor. He is thinking that like him just a few minutes earlier, what he was thinking to improve his look, to look more handsome, that he would shave, he would have thin mustache, and he would always keep a smile on his face. So he is thinking that snake also must be thinking something about himself, like growing a mustache or using eyeshadow. Children, eyeshadow is cosmetic which the girls put children on the eyelids, and mascara or wearing a vermilion. Again, mascara is a type of children cosmetic which is used to thicken the eyelashes. A vermilion spot on his forehead, or he should have a vermilion spot, that is bindi. Okay, this is vermilion spot on my forehead. Vermilion is sindoor. Okay, the red bindi of which is of sindoor is he thinking to put on his forehead. So again, student, you can see here the writer has children what he has done. He had he liked to have children fun here. I did not know anything for certain. What sex was this snake? Now children, but at the same time he was thinking that why he is thinking of vermilion bindi and eyelashes, because till now he still don't know that the snake is male or female. I will never know. He told that even I will never know also, because I cannot ask him. For the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. Now children, he did not even know, he had not seen also, because from his arm, okay, it just slithered from his arm, children. It slithered into my lap, it came into the lap. From there it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror, and from there it moves towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. I was no mere image cut in granite. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood, still holding my breath. Now children, suddenly he realized that he is a man of flesh and blood and still holding my breath. I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda, and children, suddenly he thought that a big cobra is there, so he should run away. From there, I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. And children, finally what happened? He ran away from there. Okay. Phew, each of us heaved a sigh of relief. Somebody asked, Doctor, is your wife very fat? Now children, this story which I have told right now, he was, remember, in the beginning of the chapter, he was sharing with some of the people. So one of them asked, everybody had a sigh of relief when he told that he came out from that room. But somebody also asked, Doctor, is your wife very fat? No, the doctor said, God willed otherwise. My life companion is a thin, reedy person with the gift of a sprinter. So he told, no, my wife is not very fat. Okay. And she is a thin, all right, and reedy, she is reedy means tall, and a sprinter means a runner. So let me children write the new word meaning. So read here is tall. Ready is tall, sprinter is runner. So he is telling, it is always, children, God do the otherwise, whatever you wish, God will never fulfill that wish. My life companion is a thin. He told my wife she is thin and a reedy person. Reedy means she is quite tall with the gift of a sprinter. That means she runs very fast. Someone else asked, doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you? Now again a question was put that when he ran, the snake followed him. The doctor replied, I ran and ran if I reached a friend's house. No, he told he ran and ran till he reached his friend's house. Immediately I smeared oil all over myself and took a bath. Okay, he told that smeared means spread. And suddenly what he did after reaching there, he smeared. Smeared means to put. Okay, so he told um, immediately I smeared oil all over myself and took a bath. I changed into fresh clothes, and then he changed into fresh clothes. The next morning at 8:30, I took my friend and one or two others to my room to move my things from there. So next morning, children, he decided that he would change his place. So with the help of his friend, okay, uh, and one of his friend and one or two others, he wanted to move his things from there, but we found we had little to carry. But children, it was his bad luck that now nothing was there in his room, only one thing to carry. And what to tell, I will tell you now, you will be laughing. Some thief had removed most of my things. Children, when he went to his friend's house, he was so scared that he forgot to lock the door. Okay, so he went there. All the thief was there. A burglary was there in the house. A thief entered the house. He had stolen. He had taken everything of the doctor. The room had been cleaned out already. Children, everything was clean. Everything was gone from the room. But not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult. But children, one thing thief had left to insult him, and that was, what was that? I asked. Children, everybody asked, what was that? The doctor said, my waist, the dirty one. He told, it was my waist and it was dirty one. Okay, the waist was quite dirty. The fellow had a sense of cleanliness. He seemed that fellow looks to be very neat and tidy person. He did not want to touch my dirty waist. The rascal could have taken it and used it after washing it with soap and water. Now again, the writer is giving a humorous look. He's telling it was so dirty that even he did not touch. If it would have been clean, what would he would have done? He would have taken to his house, washed it and with soap and water, and could use it. But it was so dirty that it remained there untouched. Did you see the snake the next day, doctor? The doctor laughed. I've never seen it since it was a snake which was taken with its own beauty. So he told, no, I have not seen the snake. It was taken with, okay, taken with means attracted by. Okay, it was attracted by its own beauty. So children, don't you feel there are 3 or 4 humorous thing here? Okay, what was that? And children, you can see at the last the writer name is written Vakum Muhammad Bashir. Actually, he had written this story in Malayalam, translated from the Malayalam by B. Abdullah. So you can underline this, children. In MCQ question, this type of question can come. This story was in English or some other language. Which language? So you can say this story was in Malayalam, okay, and it was translated in English by V. Abdullah, but written by Vakum Muhammad Bashir. So children, you can, I think we have all enjoyed how Bashir had made it laugh. Okay, especially the children that his about his waist. Okay, so there are places where he shared about his thought, the person who is going to marry. Okay, the person he is going to marry, his thought when the snake coiled around his body. So children, with this we know that a lot of humor is there in the story. Now children, a message is there which I would like to share. The narrator has been shown as a very vain person who was very much self-centered. He did not experience any embarrassment in expressing the desire to marry a rich fat lady, as it would be convenient for his lifestyle. He would not have to struggle. With the arrival of the snake and the panic he experienced, he realized that nothing was really important when faced with death. So he should not be arrogant. He was thinking that it was God way to give him punishment. Okay. So children, I think I've done the explanation of the lesson. In my next class, in my next video, children, we will be doing the question and answer from the sample paper from textual question answer. With this, now I take a leave. I conclude my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Goodbye, all of you.